Okay, so first of all, I want to apologize in advance because I started doing something with this video and it like made all of the writing that I did extremely blurry. So if you have a hard time seeing something, I'm sorry, and I was having an extremely difficult time trying to fix it, so I just decided to stop messing with it. Um, for this one, we are going to be demonstrating how to graph an equation in standard form by calculating its vertex and then finding axis of symmetry, concavity, and its y-intercept. And then I have to show you how to rewrite that in vertex form. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to show you how to find vertex, I guess. So this is the equation that we've been using for like most of this chapter. Yeah, really original. It's y equals negative 2x squared plus 12x minus 10. We're going to start by dividing it by negative 2 just to like simplify it because we don't really need like all the extra numbers right here. So after we divide that by negative 2, it's going to give us y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. And we're going to factor that by finding two numbers that add to negative 6 but multiply to positive 5. So I came with x minus 5 and x minus 1. Then we're going to take those two numbers and put them both equal to 0. And then we're going to add 5 to x minus 5, and we're going to add 1 to x minus 1. So that's going to give us x equals 5 and x equals 1. And then I think after you plug that into the first equation, it's going to give you 0 for both, for your y coordinates. So it's just going to be 5, 0, and 1, 0. This is your 5, 0 coordinate point, and this is 1, 0. And here's where it gets blurry. Oh, so after we graph those 2 points and look at the graph, you see that right in between the 2 points, so here's 1 point, here's another point. Right in between those is our 3 on the x-coordinate. See, 1, 2, 3. So we know that because it's right in between those two, that's going to be the vertex point for x of our parabola. And it's also going to be our axis of symmetry. So our axis of symmetry is going to be x equals 3. And because we know that that's our x-coordinate for our vertex is 3, we can plug that in to our first equation. It's going to be y equals 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 5, which is going to give us y equals 9 minus 18 plus 5, which is going to give us y equals negative 4. We know that's our x-coordinate, that's our y-coordinate, so our vertex is going to be 3, negative 4. So once we have all that, we know our vertex is 3, negative 4, that's right there. We have 2 points, 5, 0, and 1, 0. And then our axis of symmetry, x equals 3. And after we graph all of that, we can tell by looking at the graph that our parabola is going to cross over the y-coordinate at positive 5. So our y-intercept is going to be 0 on the x-coordinate and positive 5. So that's going to give us 0, 5 coordinates. This is so blurry, oh my gosh. Now I'm going to show you how to write it in vertex form. Woohoo! So y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. That's the equation that we just used. We're going to start by subtracting 5 from that, and that's going to give us y minus 5 equals x squared minus 6x. So we need to factor like this part of the equation like we did before, except we don't have our c. We just have our b, which is negative 6. So we need to find something that just adds to negative 6, right? Like, what are two numbers that add to negative 6? I just decided to use negative 3, negative 3. So those 2 points equal x squared minus 6x, and then we need to multiply them to find our c, which negative 3 times negative 3 equals positive 9. So this is like the new equation that we have, and then we take that and like switch it out. So it's going to be y minus 5 plus 9. 9 is our c equals x squared minus 6x plus 9. So we just plugged in our 9 there and there. It's kind of confusing, and I don't know if I'm explaining it very well. Okay, so that's what we just came up with, and now we're going to like combine like terms. So y plus 4 equals x squared minus 6x plus 9. We just combine negative 5 and 9, so 9 minus 5 is 4, obviously. Y plus 4 equals x minus 3, x minus 3, which is factoring this part of the equation. So two numbers that add to negative 6 and multiply to 9 are negative 3 and negative 3. Then we subtract 4 from that. And we're going to get y equals x minus 3, x minus 3 minus 4. But you can just write this by saying x minus 3 squared. So that gives us y equals x minus 3 squared minus 4, which is equal to y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5.